While the Climate Leadership Council created a coalition focused on pro-business solutions for climate change. CEO Ted Halstead is out with a Wall Street Journal op-ed, How to Cut Emissions Without Wrecking the Economy. It says this coalition includes corporate sector leaders from a range of industries, environmental nonprofits, economists, and opinion leaders from across the political spectrum. The outcome of this two-year dialogue is a breakthrough plan to cut carbon emissions in half by 2035 while benefiting American businesses, workers, and consumers. Joining me now is the man behind it, Ted Halstead, Climate Leadership Council Chairman and CEO. The way you describe it, it feels like you just won Christmas and became Santa like all at the same time. What's in your plan? So
what we're looking for is a climate solution where all sides can win. It has four parts. First, energy producers pay a fee on all carbon emissions. Economists say that's the most cost-effective solution. Second, you take all the proceeds and give it back to the American people. So an average family of four receives about $2,000 per year in carbon dividends. Third, you combine that with regulatory simplification. A number of carbon regulations become unnecessary. You remove those, giving businesses the predictability that they want. And finally, a border carbon adjustment to level the playing field and enhance the competitiveness of American companies while encouraging other large emitters like China and India to follow suit. So what have you noticed when you just did the modeling, your plan versus, say, President Obama's plan? Like, how does it stack up? So actually very well. So if you took all Obama-era climate regulations, even if they had stayed in place, you would get to about 18% reduction by 2025. The Paris goal is 28%, so all the Obama regs would have gotten you much less. Our plan, by comparison, would get us to 32% greenhouse gas reductions by 2025, far exceeding the Paris commitment. And by 2035, as you said, our plan would reduce carbon emissions by 50%. That's really remarkable. A pro-business plan backed by large oil companies, the largest solar company, a broad coalition to cut emissions in half by 2035. Because the idea is that they had to pay the tax, they don't want to pay it, therefore they're going to change how they get their energy, for example. Exactly. Everybody's going to change their behavior. So what's been the reception in the corporate community? Very good. I mean, so if you look at climate politics right now, there are basically three lanes. There's a far left, which is a Green New Deal. There's a center left, which is where Democratic presidential candidates are coming out. They're saying a carbon price is good, but embedded in, fairly regulatory and anti-business provisions. And then there's a center-right alternative, which is what we're offering. It's a conservative-inspired plan with a backing from a broad cross-section of industries. And what folks may find most interesting is that we have a number of oil majors behind our plan supporting the highest carbon price of any leading emitting country. That's quite remarkable. So a carbon tax and the conversation around that isn't necessarily anything new. So what was new about this plan that wound up helping the economy as well as reducing those emissions? So we take a basic carbon tax. The economists say is by far the most cost-effective solution. First, we make it popular and populist by giving all the money back directly to the American people. This means that we're aligning the interests of ordinary American families with climate progress for the first time. The Treasury Department did a study on this. They found that 70% of American families, including the most vulnerable, come out ahead. So that is transformative. The other thing that we've done is we've paired it with pro-business provisions. So what we're doing is giving companies far more regulatory predictability in exchange for a meaningful carbon price. It's part of a grand bargain that we think paves a path for bipartisan climate action, because climate progress at the federal level is never going to happen on a partisan basis. We're offering a bipartisan way forward. Ted, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Good luck with that plan. Ted Halstead of Climate Leadership Council. Thank you.